Another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. We are going to break down and preview the game against the OKC Thunder tonight. Goran Dragic, Javonte Green, both available tonight after both being listed as doubtful and questionable on the injury reports. We're going to break all that down, have some fun before the game right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Haize in the building, the king of Bulls merchandise, by the way. Nonetheless, I got some fire stuff coming. I racked up on Black Friday the Bulls and Bears merch that I was able to get today for the low was ridiculous. Nonetheless, though, we're here to preview the Chicago Bulls versus the OKC Thunder. The Bulls cannot take this team lightly. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is really having an MVP level season. If the OKC Thunder had more wins, he would be in the MVP conversation. Absolutely. When you look at having one of the highest PERs in NBA history, averaging 31 points a game, like he's balling out right now. Now that team isn't, they have some solid pieces from top to bottom on that team. They have a bright future, but the Bulls cannot overlook this team at all, because if they do, I'm telling you what, especially with the amount of threes that this team shoots a game, it can get ugly for the Bulls early and quick if they aren't focused on the defensive end, if they're not playing well, if they don't keep that level of intensity throughout four quarters that we've seen in their last two games. This game can get really easy. Really ugly. I wish it could get really ugly for the Chicago Bulls if things don't go. What is off my glass? Where is that coming from? Oh, that's the TV. Let's go ahead and just turn that off. That wasn't the TV. What is that glare? Nonetheless, it is what it is. Trying to figure things out. But with that being said, the Bulls need to be locked in. Right, locked in defensively. We need to keep that intensity up. I do like having Javonte in this game. They'll probably have Lou Dort on DeMar DeRozan, which means that the rookie Jalen Williams is going to be guarding Patrick Williams, and Patrick Williams better own that matchup. We need to see Patrick Williams own that matchup for sure. So we'll see how it works. Let's go ahead and get into the comments and see what we guys got today. Drip Lord says, yo, what's going on, Drip Lord? Better see more efficient game from Zach. I hope so. From your mouth to God's ears, I hope we get a much more efficient game from Zach. Billy Donovan's gum in the building. What's good, family? Rondo too. I never realized that you were also Rondo too raw. That's what's up. What's going on, brother? We need that Bull Central merch. I said I got merch. You guys see me. I've some word on here, so I got tees with the Bull Central logo on it. We got hoodies as well. Just pretty straightforward merch with the logo on it. You just got to email me. You got to hit me up via email to get it. Because I still don't have the store set up. That's just my issue. I drag my feet on that one. That's me dropping the ball. But nonetheless, you guys still love me anyway. So it is what it is. Just got to slow down Shai and make the rest of the team irrelevant. I mean, we have the defenders to defend everything else, right? When you look at the Thunder and the way that they're score, right? Shai is definitely doing the most of the heavy work there. You then have Is it Lou Dort? It's Josh Giddey and I think Lou Dort, both averaging around 14 points per game. And then the next one up after that is Trey Mann, who's averaging 10. But it's not like you have these huge scores outside of Shai in the game. So hopefully the Bulls have enough to shut a lot of other things down or to disrupt it. But this, like I said, the benefit of this OKC team is I think they're like fifth in the league, I think, in 3 points attempted. I said it, I had the stats in front of me when I did my pre-recorded episode, and that plays into the Bulls' weakness for sure. So they gotta look out for that. David says, any injuries for tonight's game? No, actually they just came. Other than Lonzo, everybody else is going to be available in this game for the Bulls. Everybody else is available. So that's big for the Chicago Bulls, definitely, is just having, we'll see. I still don't expect Dragic may not play, even though he's available. And the word they use is available. So I don't know if that means that they play their usual rotation roles or their usual minutes, but they are out there that they can play. I still kind of expect this team to not go heavy into those, but we'll see. Give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry. Okay, never mind. Let's see. Smear 60 has Shai mispronounced any more name? Oh, for sure. All the time. You already know. Braxton Burr says, question, do you do pregame, halftime, and postgame for Bears? So we used to do halftime and postgame for Bears, but now C-Dub, who's one of my co-hosts over there, actually live calls the game. So he's live from the start of the game until the game finishes, and then we all come on live for postgame shows. I usually hop on live during halftime. We talk about everything that happened at halftime, but he's live over there for the whole game. So if you're subscribed to Chicago Bears Central, he goes live usually about 10 minutes before the game starts, and he's live calling that game the whole way through. Vincent Harris, today is going to make the only 5 Chicago Bulls games I'm going to watch because of work, but I have a feeling it's going to be a Zach LaVine game, I hope. I hope so, too. Hold on. I'm just going to give me 1 second. Got to step away for a second. All right, y'all, we back. My bad. I don't even remember what the fuck we was talking about. I had to step away. It wasn't the camera and stuff being out. I had to step away for a second. Apologize with that. I started the live a little bit early. I usually wait till about 7:30 to start the live, but it is what it is at this point. The bounce of the ball. Let's see. What do you think, Haize? Levine, 22.5 points. Over under OKC won't be easy. I don't do over-unders, like I said before, and I don't do predictions. I don't do score predictions for real. The Bulls can definitely win this game. They have to play intensity on all sides of the ball, period. All right, let's see. Bob King says, let's go. Sweet potato pie and Douce is a recipe for the number two? For the number two? What's the number one? All right, y'all, my bad. Always something going on. Okay, let's see what else we got. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Anyway, as we're waiting for the chat to build back up, in this game, with somebody asked about Zach LaVine, I just want to see Zach have an efficient game. I don't care if Zach only scores 18, 19 points, if it's efficient shooting, right? I just want to, let's, much like with P. Will early in the season, let's build upon, right? So let's have Zach have an efficient game, regardless of what the outcome of that is. Let him have an efficient game, and then let's build upon that and get a little bit stronger from there and there today. That's what I want to see. Bob King says, predicting big P. Will night. This definitely could be. When you look at either Lou Dort or Jalen Williams going to be guarding Patrick Williams, he has the size advantage in either one of those matchups. Lou Dort's the better defender, so they're probably going to put him on DeRozan. But outside of that, I do think that P. Will, and by that I don't mean 20, 25 points, but P. Will definitely could have like a 11 to 15 point game where he plays very good defense, gets about 4 or 5 rebounds, a couple assists. That's what we want to see from Patrick Williams in this game, at least in my opinion. That's what I would love to see from Patrick Williams. Unstoppable Bull 773 says 45-47. 45-47. But 45-47 what? I must be missing some stuff in the chat. I don't know. It's been a weird internet night, so I apologize for that. Is it just me, but does anyone else see a little bit of Ja in I? No, Ja? No, I don't see any Ja Morant in I think the perfect comparison is the one that people have been making since last season. That's Drew Holiday. I don't even know why I have these headphones on. Drew Holiday is the perfect comparison, I think, for Ayo Dosunmu. That's what I see in Ayo, personally. So, Crazy Boy Plays has been watching World Cup since I've been scared to watch any Bulls games. Well, I'm a superstitious person, so keep that up. So hopefully we keep winning. That's all I can say with that. Ruben says, let's go for a third great victory tonight. Go Bulls. Yeah, I mean, listen, I would love for the Bulls to just win this game. I would love for the Bulls to play tight in this one and do the things that we need to see this team do, because we know what this team's capable of, especially when they're firing on all cylinders. This team is capable of a lot, and we need to see just a continued play, continue building that identity, that team identity that people were talking about in the offseason. Hopefully they can continue to do that. And if they do continue to do that, it's gonna go really big for the Chicago Bulls, but they just got to play consistently. They really just have to keep playing consistently. They really just have to keep their foots on teams' necks, keep playing with that level on both sides of the ball. Move the ball too, move with and without the ball, those type of things. As long as the team does that things, they can find success almost against any other team in the NBA, I think. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. Do you think P-Will can develop a DeMar MJ midi? I don't do player comparisons. I don't know how long you've been watching me. I don't really do that type of stuff, but I do think that P-Will absolutely can develop a solid mid-range game. I think we're seeing him develop it. Like the fact that P-Will is hitting the three-pointer at almost 48% clip and he's taking more of them shows you what he can be three-point wise. I think the mid-range, though, because the mid-range can be a little bit more clocked, he's going to have to work on just making that release a little bit quicker. But one thing that we've seen P-Will do as well is he jumps a little bit higher on the mid-range shots, and that gets that separation because he's so tall and long. It keeps people from being able to block the ball. So maybe we see that from P-Will, too. What's up, Haize? How you doing tonight? Ray Guns 101. I'm doing really good, brother. How are you doing, my brother? Vooch better feast on the Thunder bigs. Well, if you want to call them bigs, because right, their starting center is lightweight as hell. So hopefully the Bulls can take advantage of that. Vooch, the one thing that I will say is that Vooch is definitely attacking when he's guarded by smaller players better than what he has, especially last season. They're missing him some in this season, and I mean he's still missing some things himself, and I hope they work on that part of the game a little bit better. But when you look at the Thunder's starting center, he's 7 foot. But he's 190 pounds. 190 human pounds. Well, I guess pounds are the same regardless of what creature you are. But Vooch, 6'10", 260. He outweighs the OKC starting center by 70 pounds. 70 pounds. Keep in mind, keep what I said in there. He outweighs him by 70 pounds. Vooch better cook. Vooch better work down low today. He better work down low today is all I can say. Despite Kobe White's fine performance in the last game, does he still have a place with it? Yes. I said this before. I kind of talked about this over on the pre-recorded show today as well. When Kobe White is on, right? And now that we're seeing Kobe White do things outside of just shoot, he's passing the ball much better than what he has at any other point in his career. Some of the passes he make, I just sit back and I'm like, damn, Kobe made that? He's playing better weak side defense. He's putting the ball on the floor now better to get to the rim. He's still not hitting those, converting those at the clip I would like to see, but he is starting to go to the rim a little bit more. And if all those things come together on top of his shooting, be a little bit more consistent, Kobe White is going to have a player like that has a role on any team in the NBA, regardless of what the makeup of your roster is. A player that has a threat to go off for between 12, 15, and 20 points per game if he's hot. They're always going to have a role on any team in the NBA. Javonte Green reminds me of Tony Allen with his toughness and athleticism. That's a nice comparison. I say that he's more athletic. He's way more athletic than Tony Allen ever was. So I agree with that. I agree with that. Hey, brother, you ready to watch us lead at the third quarter by 20 only to win by 1? Happens every year, every game against OKC. Let's hope that we buck some trends, right? Let's hope that we buck some trends for sure. Reginald, besides having a wild ass set of trade scenarios in the comments earlier today, Billy better have Vooch in the paint all night. When AD is out there, they still better attack the rim. I agree with you. Definitely agree with you. Why do you think the national media covered us during the losing, but not after 2 monster wins? Well, keep in mind, one monster win came right before a holiday where everything shut down and you don't have any basketball going on. The other win against the Boston Celtics, I think, was covered pretty nicely, in my opinion, in the national media. I mean, you had a team that still was under 500. You're not going to get a lot of attention regardless of the win that you do if you're under 500. But I think appropriate to where the Bulls were, the fact that they snapped the Celtics losing streak. And, of course, the conversation was more about the Celtics losing streak being snapped more so than how well the Bulls played. But that's kind of what you're going to get with where the Bulls are right now, in my opinion. Is it just me or does Pat recent game scream Mikal Bridges? He's way better defensively than Mikal Bridges, and he's not nearly as quick as Mikal Bridges. If you guys can't tell, I try to steer away from it unless I'm doing draft analysis. When I do draft prospects, I do a lot of comparisons, but I'm not wanting to do a lot of player comps because the players are just some of the little things can make players so different. But I think what we're seeing is Patrick Williams develop his play style. That's the more important thing. Haize, when you started the live and said do, I thought you were doing a movie scene from All About the Benjamins. I did, because somebody said 45, 47. So I did that. That's where it came from. The only trade scenarios I want to be seeing is involving the Bulls playing a two-tower style line. It's not going to happen. And you're crazy. You literally did that to get under my skin. You're funny, bro. It's me, Haize, LOL. But Bulls should have a good shot tonight. They need to play hard all 4 quarters. Absolutely. Quick question. Mexico and Argentina tomorrow, bro. Argentina all the way. Argentina. Come on, brother. Come on, man. You got to know what this is, man. It's Argentina all day. Come on now, bro. Would like to see Jones Jr. play longer. Well, he didn't play at all in the last game, much less play longer. I said in the pregame show when it seemed like Javonte may be out that Derrick Jones Jr. was probably going to play a lot in this game. With Javonte in there, he might not. But you never know. This is a OKC Thunder team that isn't like overly long and athletic. Athletic, but not overly tall. They don't have like a big, huge size discrepancy. So we should and could see a lot of Derrick Jones Jr. and Javonte. I still think Derrick Jones Jr. may get off the bench before Javonte because I think they're going to want to try to let Javonte rest. Just with the fact that he was questionable earlier today, they may try to allow him to rest, and then if it doesn't and they realize they need his energy, they may go ahead and bring him in that way. But we'll see. Marcus Couch in the building. What's good, Haize? I look for Vooch to eat tonight. He's gonna have a good game against. I hope so. I really do hope he does. I think he should. He outweighs the Thunder starting center by 70 pounds. He should be able to cook, man. Hey, what's your thoughts on Dalen Terry? Dalen Terry's going to be a hell of a player. He's probably not going to play a lot this season, but he's going to be a hell of a player. Delbert, I hope DT gets some run. The best way you can see DT get some run tonight is if the Bulls are blowing out the OKC Thunder. That's it. Haize, did you see that some articles got us trading for Russell Westbrook? Like, why would we the media want us so bad? Listen, the media, they just try to search for things, bro. There's no way. There is zero way that the Bulls trade for Russell Westbrook in that contract. I will go on record. I'm telling you guys right now, if the Bulls trade for Russell Westbrook, I will drink a bottle of tequila live on air and pass the fuck out. A whole bottle. It's not going to happen. If the Bulls act right and get a solid lead, this will be good games for a few minutes for Terry and Simonovic. I know they do G League, but I always see them on the bench. I mean, Dalen has a bigger chance of getting off the bench than Marco, I would think. DeMar, Zach, Vooch combined for 72 points last game. That was crazy, man. Yeah, definitely. That's what we need to see from them. Dalen Terry is so funny on the bench. He deserves some minutes on the floor. I mean, listen, sometimes rookies just got to eat it their rookie year. Stephen Gordon, Westbrook, he's been much better since he accepted the bench role. Much better since he accepted the bench role. BKR Sports, if the Bulls trade for Russell Westbrook, I'm moving to Cleveland to become a Browns fan. That's shitty, bro. Of these four, who would fit better in the rotation? Thad Young, Jalen Smith, Vanderbilt, or Maxi Kleber? I'm going to eliminate Thad. I'm going to eliminate Jalen Smith as well. I'm going to say Vanderbilt or Maxi Kleber, and I would say Maxi Kleber. I would say Maxi Kleber almost a little bit more because I don't really know. I don't think you can go wrong with Jared Vanderbilt or Maxi Kleber, in my opinion. I would like Vanderbilt more for a long-term play, Maxi Kleber more for now, if that makes sense. This should be a W. Shai Gilgeous seems to be putting up great numbers, so we should just disrupt everyone around him. Yep, kind of said that at the beginning of the stream. Ray Guns, man, Drummond needs his boy Dragic for some easy points. Hey, they definitely have a hell of a chemistry. JC, should I bet Vooch getting over 10 rebounds tonight? Yes. I think that's a safe bet tonight. One thing I don't understand is people saying Vooch hitting clutch shots is something we haven't been watching him do at most of this, because people don't watch games. They watch box scores. That's a big reason why. Mark A.L. says, imagine if we had a season like the Celtics last year. Only thing is we get to win the chip. A boy can dream. Listen, if the Chicago Bulls even make it to the finals, it's going to be crazy around here. Absolutely batshit ass crazy. What odds do you give Zoe coming back in January? Well, the fact that we are now almost 8 weeks into a 4 to 6 week evaluation, I said this before, it lends me to believe that Lonzo Ball probably is not playing this season. Now, I hold the right to change that if new news comes available. Maybe, just maybe, they are waiting to release that information to where they can literally say, oh, by the way, Lonzo's return date is such and such. But with not having no update, and he was supposed to be reevaluated in the 4 to 6 week period, and we have zero updates 2 weeks after that period ends, it doesn't look good, bro. It doesn't look good. What about the flagrant one on Zach Trash? Trash-ass call, bad-ass call, so... yeah. Luis says, I already said this. No, Argentina all day long. That's my pick. Yo, Haize, hope you're doing good, brother. I love Lonzo, man, but do we need to cut our losses? No. Hey, no, because you will be selling them for pennies on the dollar with this being injured. The Bulls, just at this point, they have to eat it. You can trade, right? But you're not going to get much back without having any type of timeline for his return. It's just not going to happen. On top of that, I just don't see it happen. It's not like his contract was $20 million is his contract. You're not going to trade that unless somebody's just complete rebuild and just says, hey, let's just get everything. So if there was any game Patrick Williams should go off, and it's this one. I kind of talked about that at the beginning as well. I see where you're coming from. That definitely he could cook in this game. Marcus Couch, wow, like the McRib, Lonzo is going to. Well, the McRib is actually back right now. So maybe that's a better forecasting because the McRib is back right now. By the way, I will be at the game in Paris in January for the NBA game, Paris Bulls Pistons. Shout out to you. That's going to be a hell of a game. Man, but listen, you got to phonetically spell it. And phonetically spell it so I won't forget it. If Westbrook gets traded and released, would you like? No, at all. No, we don't need any more guards. We don't need any more guards on this. We don't. Unless we trade Kobe for a big, and then we need a scoring guard who can really light things up from the bench. That's what needs to happen. Otherwise, no. Reginald, no. This trade is dumb. You're smoking some good crack. No. What? No. And they would never accept that. 2 firsts for Bam? No, bro. You tripping, bro. Markel. Oh, it's just Markel. Okay, cool. See the A in it. I felt like I had to do something special with the A, man. But okay, I got you, Markel. Auntie's in the building. What's going on, Auntie? Glad to have you in here, man. We are almost about to end the stream, though. So you came in a little bit late. Hi, Haize. Excited for today's game. So proud of our team. Patrick playing so well. Javante is like the star of our team. And DeMar, Io, always stable, but we really need to see more from Levine today. That is from Yulia. I completely agree with you. Well, as far as we need to see more from Levine. As far as Javante's the star of our team, no. He may be the heart. When Javante's on and playing with energy, it changes some big things for the Bulls. Thoughts on beat writers saying the Bulls' big three is the worst in NBA history? People just write shit for headlines is what my thoughts are on that. Haize, if Zoe don't play this season, do the Bulls still believe he's part of the future? Yes, they kind of have to because nobody's trading for him at that point. That would be a year and a half out of basketball. You got to still try to get him in there. Should they bring back the discount table at the UC? I would get jerseys and shorts for like $30. They still have the table isn't there, but if you go in the Bulls store, they have a discount section. So definitely go in there and get that. Vooch needs some. What? I'm sorry, Trayvon. No. Vooch is a center. Did you not see last season where Vooch was playing primarily on the perimeter? Vooch is a center, and he's one of the top 10 centers in the NBA. We got to get off this blind Vooch hate. Vooch, does he average like these huge amazing numbers? No, but he's still one of the top 10 centers in the NBA, period. And he's a better player than Andre Drummond. Drummond's a better defender than him, but he's a better player than Andre Drummond. No, you don't like, come on. Y'all trying to fix something that isn't a problem. The bull slander on some of these channels be pissing. Oh, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. It's always going to happen. Tonight there will be No Suit for You by Stacey King on a block by Drummond. Well, I wouldn't doubt it. They think they have Marco working in the discount merch section, nothing else to do. I'm telling y'all, Billy Donovan does not know who Marco Simonovic is. You can't convince me he does. Can't convince me he does. How would a lineup of Goran, Kobe, Javante, DJJ, and Vooch do? For what? As the starters? Like, coming off the bench? We've seen that. They do pretty good. You're talking about starting? Oh, that's a 20-win team. Haize, do you think we'll ever see Vooch and Drummond? No, it's not going to happen. Well, we did see, there was a game where we saw like 2 minutes of it, but I think it was literally just as they were waiting for a timeout. But as far as like heavy rotation minutes of that, no, it's not going to happen. Thankfully for you, the stupidity on these channels does not give me half as much aneurysm as Australian sport comment sections do. That's funny. That is hilarious. The one piece I'd saying for a while that would instantly make the Bulls better is Marcus Morris. He would be the perfect pickup. Who could the Bulls trade? And I wouldn't say he's the perfect pickup. I honestly don't think he's much better than what we're getting from Javante Green. Personally, I did trade Zach to the Pistons for Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, and Bojan. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing today, man? I have faith in this team again after our defense on the Bucks. That's from Austin. Hey, you should. Like, this team has done a lot to restore. The reason why I lost faith in this team was because of the lack of heart they were playing with. The fact that this team is now playing with heart again, it's changed my outlook on that completely. Completely. Shay says, I'm so desperate to get Tony Bradley off this team. I'll trade him for Daniel House at this point, and he's having an up and down season with the Sixers. I trade Tony Bradley for a used pair of Jordan 1s. And I mean like somebody who's had them since they first came out in the 80s and 90s. Like literally a 30-year pair of shoes. If we can get that back for Tony Bradley, that's a hell of a trade. Idea, why don't we trade our star player for 3 scrubs from a last place team in the East for the last 100 years? That's crazy. And you know, what's wild when people be like, hot take, and then say something like that. It's like, that's not hot. That's just crazy. Centers who can post up in the middle of the zone coverage can collapse zone with the triangle over. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Mark Hill says, I have no faith in this team because every time I do, they lose. That's PTSD, bro, but I understand it. Why are we talking about trades? Because people are crazy, bro. Because people don't watch games. They just like talking about trades. I think I know, honestly, all jokes aside, I think I mentioned the trade first and it just got people going. What up, fam? Been a minute since I caught a live just from JPEG. You caught the end of it because I'm actually about to end this live, brother. I got Bulls winning. The Bulls can't come CUM? All right, Auntie. I'll play lazy against OKC team. This team can hoop, so Bulls got to start with that good energy. Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. I'll trade Tony Bradley. You said that like that's a trade down. That's a trade up. I'll trade Tony Bradley for Marcus Moore. Yeah, he's a better player. Of course you would. What? The whole point of saying I would trade for is to say how bad somebody is that you would trade for something worse than them. Not to say how you're going to trade for somebody better than them, Shay. Come on, bro. The things be going over your head, some brother. You got to get it together there, bro. You know what? This explains it. Tony Bradley is a GOAT. That's why he can't hold on to the ball, because GOATs have hooves. They don't have fingers. So that explains it. Tony Bradley is an actual GOAT. I trade Bradley for Judas the Snake, one of the disciples who sold. All right, MC Season. Now that was funny. See, that's how you do it, Shay. That's how you do it, brother. Exactly. Thank you. I'm glad you got example. I trade Tony Bradley for Felicio. See, that's how you get it. That's how you get it. I'll ask this before I go, right? If the Bulls, what record would the Bulls have to have coming out of this road stretch for your faith to be completely restored in the team? Meaning, they've already won one, right? So they started off, they got 5 more games on the road. If they go 4-3, is your faith restored? If they go 3-4, is your faith restored? If they go 5-1 or 5-2, like what record would it take for you for the Bulls to restore your faith? For me, if they can come out of this back at or above 500, that's what I want to see from this Bulls team. If they come out of this road stretch above 500, watch out for the rest of the season. Definitely watch out for the rest of the season. For those that are asking how my Thanksgiving was, it was great. But Haize, retro ones are a trade up from Tony Brown. That's why I said original Jordan ones, meaning the mugs have been stepped on. They're dirty as hell. The soles are so dirty that you can't clean them off. I'm literally talking about ones that you would never wear out in public. Never wear out in public. But all right, y'all, I'm about to shut this down. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in to the live pregame show. I'll be here back at halftime and for the postgame. Make sure you follow the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Still trying to hopefully get to 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, December 5th, which is looking less and less likely. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much. Follow the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, for the mailbag episodes, which is tomorrow and Sunday, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We out this mug.